we're moving to our State Senator Brad Hoylman. Thanks a lot, Senator, for being here. And right after, we're going to open the community section of this briefing, where Maria will moderate, and she's going to allow some of our business owners ask a few questions. So please, Senator, join us.
Muted.
You're muted. There we go. You got it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Andres and Maria and Bill, and my colleagues, Corey and Deborah, of course, and Jerry, who's hard at work as we speak. He's literally working while we're on this Zoom. He's doing such a fantastic job, and I just want to thank him in particular for the MTA money, because that's going to be so key to resuming, normalcy. So, we join you and anything we can do to fight for this package as you take it to the other house. This is a really good starting point, and I'm sure my state colleagues are going to be relieved. Also, at your colleagues' inclusion of the rent subsidies and mortgage package, that's huge for us. We've been talking about that. As Deborah said, we're looking at close to $17 billion. Who knows at the end of the day how much that deficit's going to be. The Senate in particular is looking at two big features. One is, if the feds don't come through with the revenue, what are we going to do? We can't cut our way out of this pandemic. We can't cut our way out of this recession. So we're going to have to work with our Assembly colleagues and alternative revenues if the federal money doesn't come through. So we have to start thinking about that now, but we're obviously pushing Washington. Secondly, rent is a big issue, and mortgages. The news of the House bill is key, but we're also going to have to develop a plan for that. I wanted to let you know about some of the legislation that I've been fighting for. I sent a letter to Governor Cuomo asking him to issue an executive order to allow small businesses to retain sales taxes collected during the fourth quarter of 2019 and use that money as cash grants for operational expenses. I think it's something he's going to look at, again, depending on what kind of federal money is available to us. Secondly, I asked the Department of Financial Services superintendent to do everything in its power to examine that issue of business interruption insurance. I know that's something I've heard from some of your members and from all across the district. That's very important. And then finally, the idea of allowing the current scheme of to-go alcohol sales to continue. I think it's something we need to look at for maybe a period following the end of the state of emergency. It's not going to be a snap. It's not going to be like businesses are back and running as soon as the pandemic is over. We're going to have to look at innovative ways to assist our small businesses to get back on their feet. And in many ways, it's a way to kind of rethink, the city and state support. I really appreciate the speaker's bill on limiting personal liability, a la Gabe Stallman. Corey will be happy to know that I've introduced a state companion to the bill that he's going to pass tomorrow. So I'm hopeful that we can get that legislation heard. And then we're looking at the issue of commercial tenants trying to break their lease, but through arguing that performance of the contract has been rendered impossible. That's legislation that I'm looking to put forward as well. And then finally, I carry a bill that we're calling the Tenant Safe Harbor Act. Again, recognizing that at the snap of the fingers, everything's not going to be back to normal. It would give commercial tenants 6 months after the pandemic has been declared ended to start repaying their rent without fear of eviction. We think that this is important for both commercial and residential tenants both. Tomorrow, the Senate and Assembly are having hearings jointly on small business concerns. You can watch it on our various feeds. I've got some constituents who are going to be testifying, but you should be on that feed, Maria, if you're not testifying over Zoom. and ask questions. This is a real opportunity to
Yeah.
get issues before your state legislators. And thank you, Corey, for pushing these issues forward. Deborah's been such a soldier in this effort, and Jerry. We have a great West Side team delivering food, collecting volunteers, checking with seniors. It's been very inspiring. You know, this crisis indeed has brought out the best in so many members of our community. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Senator.